Welcome back, everybody. Now, the National Science Week in South Africa for 2025 will take place from the 4th of August to the 9th. The week aims to bridge the gap between science and society by showcasing the importance of science, technology and innovation in everyday life. Well, my colleague Liezle Wilson is out at the launch in Pretoria this morning, and we'll definitely be crossing over to her to find out more. She'll be speaking to quite a number of stakeholders, including Dr. Libuwani Masebe, the Deputy Director of DSTI in Science Promotion, and as well as Dr. Vatiswa Papuzamkaka, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Engagement. And a little later on, she'll also be speaking to Minister Blade Nzimande just to get a feel of what the Science Week for this year has in store for us in terms of making developments, scientific developments accessible to all and bridging the gap between science and technology. The Science Week for 2025 is back. It is an annual event taking place in different parts of South Africa, but this particular launch will be taking place out at Pretoria. And my colleague Liezle Wilson, and we're still trying to establish connection with her, and as soon as we have the link to her, well, I'm told that she's now on the line. A very good morning to you, Liezle. Thank you so much for joining us. And I suppose National Science Week 2025 is back this year and bridging the gap between science and technology. Just take us through what we're likely to see today. Good morning.
Well, good morning. Good morning, South Africa. It's a crisp start to this morning. Of course, we're coming to you live from the Tshwane University of Technology for the launch of National Science Week 2025. It's brought to you by the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. And I can tell you there is a lot of activities promised today, from exhibitions to demonstrations and even student-led innovation. It really just highlights the importance of science in this, modern world, and of course, South Africa's role in it. Now, we're looking at the Minister of Higher Education, Technology and Innovation, Professor Blade Nzimande. He will also just be highlighting how we're going to be creating an equitable and inclusive and prosperous future for all. So we're also going to be chatting to him, as you also alluded to a little earlier on. So obviously just looking at, how science is not just limited to textbooks and labs alone. There's a plethora of activities that will be highlighted, and we've got a few guests lined up just to chat to us about the significance of what National Science Week is all about, and perhaps on the back of this launch. And so for that, we're going to be joined by Dr. Liezle, of course, this morning, the Director General at the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. We've also got a few other guests lined up after that. So for now, let me bring in Dr. Liezle for more. Good morning, DG, and thank you for your time with us here on the SABC at this hour. We've not been spared, obviously, when it comes to the weather, but obviously if we're looking at the spirit of what's at stake and how it's keeping us alive, given the exciting activities that you have planned. Tell us a little bit more about the theme. It's obviously looking at science, technology and innovation, and how it should be accessible for everyone. Tell us a little bit more about the intention behind that for the department.
Good morning, Liezle and St. Pierre in the studio and your listeners. First, we must appreciate the SABC for having agreed to come and broadcast live here. It's a big event for us. As the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, we are very pleased that today our youngsters, future stars, the future of South Africa will be descending upon the University of Technology to demonstrate various initiatives that young people are doing, but also those that have made it. The innovators will also be here. So the day is important for several reasons, right? So the department has agreed that we need to push and promote science, technology, and innovation, and place it at the center of government, education, society, and economy. So it's therefore important to make sure that we make science, technology, and innovation accessible to everyone in the rural areas, in townships, in the cities, in the CBDs, and make sure that everyone has an opportunity to learn and explore and also maximize their potential through science, technology and innovation.
If we're looking at, research and development and how it contributes to just under 1% of our GDP, I mean, we're looking at the importance of investment as well. And if we're looking at where the world is also headed, it's obviously important that more resources are allocated. Tell us a little bit more about the intention on that front, particularly when we look at our global competitiveness as a country in that regard.
Well, firstly, let's appreciate that globally. And this we learn from the Global Competitive Index, that those countries that are globally competitive and productive, one of the things that they do well is to invest in R&D. We are not doing particularly well in terms of the global ranking. And we've also agreed that part of it has to do with the fact that some of our firms are not investing as much as they ought to be in terms of research and development. Our target is to reach 1.5 growth expenditure on R&D as a percentage of GDP. And this is also in line with our national development plan. But we are nowhere near. We are actually moving in the opposite direction. And part of the challenge towards us not able to reach that target is that our business is investing below 50%. But we're in discussion with them to try and entice them and explain and try and encourage them to see the importance of investing in research and development. The current global dynamics and where the world is heading, really science, technology and innovation is at the heart of it. If we don't invest, the future of South Africa may not be as bright as we ought to be, but we remain hopeful and confident.
Even on that point, if we're looking at retaining local talent and, perhaps mitigating against the brain drain, what's also going to happen on that front to ensure that we obviously have the talent and the necessary skills as well?
We want to be knowledge producers, not just consumers. Yes. And at the heart of that is the talent is important. So that's why we're here. We want to invest in young people. We want to invest in future scientists, engineers and innovators. We want to make sure that those talented youngsters, they continue to do postgraduate studies in critical fields in science, technology and innovation, and up to a level of PhD and beyond that. But also be able to set up their own companies, that the startups that could really help our economy to grow, but also bring solutions to a number of societal challenges that we are confronted with. And the youngsters today will show some of those examples and the ideas that they're having.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's even about positioning us in that global picture. And if we look at how we're going to position ourselves, perhaps in BRICS or in the African Union as well, talk to us about that positioning for the global south at large.
Of course, international cooperation is a critical and a vital component of our work. Without partnerships, so for me, let me just repeat, we need to invest in people, we need to invest in infrastructure, we need to invest in partnerships, both local and international. We use science diplomacy to unlock great opportunities to make sure that we work with our partners both in the south and north. In the BRICS we're quite active. In the G20 we'll be hosting G20 science, technology and innovation work stream in September. So we hope to use those opportunities to also put South Africa on the map, but also to attract investments and support towards South African activities and also open opportunities for science. After all, science is a global enterprise. So we want to improve the mobility of our people, of our scientists, innovators and engineers. And they must excel. We do excel, right? Absolutely. In critical fields like public health research. In terms of knowledge production, we're relatively productive, comparative to our, relative to our size.
Well, DG, who can forget our, innovation when it came to COVID-19 and perhaps how we also asserted ourselves in that global picture. I need to wrap up. We're obviously looking at the partnership with the Tshwane University of Technology. Why the decision to launch it here? Obviously, as this is being rolled out across the country. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Look, universities such as TUT are critical to our ecosystem because they constitute a vital part of our system. We are very pleased that the university agreed to host this event here. We are also having a lot of initiatives, by the way, here at TUT, and they have really done well. Some of our scientific breakthrough have been realized through the University of Technology, and we are very pleased. We're looking forward. We actually want to encourage TUT students to join us and show talent, and maybe some of them who are doing other fields may be interested to come and, maybe change curriculum. Yeah. And inspire. By the way, it's not just students. This event is also open to the public, the parents, the aunts, the grannies, who will be coming here. We want to change the mindset. Mathematics and science is not for the nerds, but everyone can actually inspire. We need to be quite competent in arithmetic.
Okay, we've heard that call to action. DG, thank you for your time this morning. Looking forward to the exciting activities ahead. Director General for the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Mlungisi Cele this morning, just telling us about the launch of National Science Week here at the Tshwane University of Technology. As you heard, the day is filled with ideas, exhibitions and demonstrations, but it's also just to remember, it's not just an event. It's us stepping into the future of what, our country has to offer, and of course, how we're going to play our part in that global scene as well. And so for now, welcome to National Science Week here at Tshwane University of Technology. We have a hive of activity lined up as we continue with our day.